Hello and welcome to join us. Our topic today is about the smarter, faster, and greener new industrial Ethernet switch, EKI-3000. To help us understand more about EKI-3000 industrial Ethernet switch, we have invited Richard Koh, the product sales manager for the Industrial Communication Department, to join us today.
Hello, thank you for taking the time today to join me to take a look at this quick product training video on the EKI-3000 line. My name is Richard Koh. I'm the product sales manager for Advantech on these ICOM products. So if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to answer questions via email or phone. You can reach me and my contact info is at the end of this presentation. So please enjoy this presentation. Thank you.
There are various different Ethernet switches in the market. Could you tell us why do we need Smart Industrial Switch from Advantech?
Customers ask me quite often why we need Smart Industrial Ethernet switches. The answer is pretty simple because as technology moves forward today in today's modern world, pretty much these switches, they need to address the ability for customers to do high performance and jumbo frame support. Video surveillance, security cameras are two areas that need to transmit large amounts of data constantly. It's not uncommon to need gigabit Ethernet for applications that use high resolution cameras to do inspection or quality control. On these switches, our port-based QoS prioritizes a VIP port for time-intensive, network requirements such as video streaming. We have loop detection on these units, which gives the engineer a chance to take a look at the unit and see if there's problems from the LED indicator on the front panel. This loop detection prevents broadcast storms and also, shuts down the associate port that's causing those problems. For applications that have limited power in remote locations, these smart switches will also consume less power based on the length of the Ethernet cable and how many ports are being used. This is known as the IEEE 802.3az standard, which is energy efficient Ethernet. So these are some of the key features of why a customer would need a smart industrial Ethernet switch.
Thanks, Richard. Now I understand why customers will need Advantech Smart Ethernet switch. Could you tell us the mission of Advantech Smart Industrial Ethernet switch?
Our EKI-3000 series target mission is pretty simple. We want to offer our customers a light industrial switch that is feature-filled in terms of what the customer needs, but also provided at a price point that would make sense, for companies that may be using commercial-grade switches and want to upgrade but still stay within a set budget. We designed these units with features that make it easy for an engineer or end user to select our product at a price that's competitive to what is currently on the market. The compact size, the green energy design that I mentioned earlier, and also the communication and entry-level offering are key features that make these switches very unique for the market. Again, the target mission, you can see our vertical markets here are factory automation. We do transportation and also renewable energy. So it's not limited to these specific areas, but these are the key markets for our EKI-3000 products where you need a light industrial but also a robust switch. When you look at the EKI-3000 design, these things are easily mountable via a DIN rail or wall mount. The wall mount bracket is included. The DIN rail obviously just snaps into the DIN rail itself. But this is the ideal industrial way to mount these switches that commercial grade products just don't give you. So this is a nice key feature of our units as well. If you look at the EKI-3000 series in terms of performance and cost, what I did here is a grid, and you can take a look at the high performance on the top, low performance toward the bottom, high price and low price. So going from left to right, we look at Hirschman Spider series. They're usually a little bit more expensive in the market. Moxos EDS 205 plastic chassis. We have the Advantech 2000 series, which is our industrial grade switches. And on the upper right over here is our Advantech 3000 series, which is sacrificed a little bit in terms of casing. It's a mixture of plastic and metal, but at a very low price and with a lot of features, I believe this will be a key industry leader product.
Now I know that the mission of Advantech Smart Industrial Ethernet Switch is to provide a series of entry-level industrial Ethernet switches with compact size and energy saving for IoT communication solutions. Would you tell us the product features and applications of EKI-3000, the Smart Industrial Ethernet Switch?
Now that we've seen how the EKI-3000 position against our competition, I want to show you a close-up look at the EKI-3500 series unmanaged switch. This again is our 10100 megabit version. This particular one, if you look right at the top, has a dual power input. This is a good feature of all industrial, light industrial units because of the dual power input, so customers can use both a power supply and a battery. The case is IP40 design. We got an operating temperature -10 to 60 degrees C. It's got your standard shock, vibration, and free fall testing, and this is the energy efficient Ethernet standard. The VIP port is up here on the far upper top, labeled number 1. On the VIP port for the 5 port, you have 1. On the 8 port, you have 2. This one also has the design and loop detection for the particular outputs on this Ethernet ports. Same switch, now we're looking at the 3700 series. Key difference in the 3700 is going to be a jumbo frame support at 9,000 bytes. The 3500 series does roughly 2,000 bytes, so the jumbo frame at 9,000 is significantly more. And this is our unmanaged gigabit Ethernet switch. So again, you have your dual power inputs at the top, IP40, those things haven't changed. You still got your 1 port VIP on the 3725 and 2 ports on the 3728. But again, the key difference here is gigabit Ethernet and the jumbo frame support. Looking at our EKI-3000 unmanaged switch offering, currently we have 4 units. Again, we have the 3500 series, which are the 10100s. We have the 3700 series, which is a gigabit. We have 5 port and 8 port versions of each one, and these are known as green products because of the IEEE standard for the low power consumption. 5 ports, 8 ports, and then you can see the VIP ports are going to be 1 VIP port on the 5 port models and 2 VIP ports on the 8 port models. Another offering we have coming out very soon is the media converters in the EKI-3500 series. These are going to be similar to our EKI switches in terms of size and chassis. They're going to be 10100 units, and we have both a single mode and a multi-mode version of the media converter. Essentially, this unit is designed to convert from Ethernet to single mode or Ethernet to multi-mode fiber optics. The connectors on the fiber ports are going to be SC types, and of course you got an Ethernet cable plug on the bottom and dual redundant power at the top. And these are also DIN rail mountable, just like the EKI-3000 series. Again, these will be soon to be released, so keep an eye open for these products. This is a breakdown of the EKI-3000 series product specs. Looking across the board, we have the 3700 series on the left and the 3500 series on the right. The key things I want to highlight here that I think will be unique is under the column card traffic control. So we've got 2 areas that are unique. The broadcast storm protection is something we feature on all of our units. And then also, if you look at the jumbo frame size support, the 3700 series supports a jumbo frame at 9,000 plus bytes, whereas the 3500 series supports 2,000 bytes. This is going to be the main difference because the jumbo frame is only supported on the gigabit Ethernet models, the 3700 series. Besides that, the temp ratings, the power input, the physical size doesn't change for any of the units, so they're exactly the same. And they carry FCC, CU, and UL 6950 regulations. Here I wanted to show how the new EKI-3000 line stacks up against our competitors. So I took the EKI-3525 and put it up against some of the comparable switches from our other competitors. So looking down the chart here, we'll look at the Advantech 3525. The type of the chassis is a combination of plastic and metal, IP rating of 40. This is the only unit that employs the 802.3AZ triple E rating, which means that it conserves and consumes less power depending on how many cables and how many inputs you plug into the device. The warranty is 5 years, which a couple other competitors have 5 years. Our price point is one of the best, though, at $84 list price. And we got some really good highlight features, such as the jumbo frame, the QoS VIP port, and also the dual redundant power that some of our competitors don't have. So price-wise, feature-wise, this is an excellent unit to show to our customers. Key feature number 1 of our EKI-3000 series is the jumbo frame support. Typically, jumbo frames is roughly 9,000 bytes of information, and this is available on our 3700 series with our gigabit ports. As mentioned previously, the jumbo frame is extremely useful for customers who demand high performance in video surveillance, security cameras, and any areas where they need gigabit Ethernet for high resolution cameras to transmit large amounts of data. This jumbo frame, is useful because it increases the performance in large networks. And again, gigabit Ethernet cameras, video surveillance are the top areas that use this type of feature. So this is available in our 3700 series EKI. Here's an application we're looking at, again with video surveillance. You can see on the top we have our EKI-3000 switches in a standard cross ring. That's going to be sent out to one of our UNO control units, and highlighted in the yellow box there is the EKI-3028. These are going to be hooked up to particular cameras, and then the cameras support the jumbo frame. So for high bandwidth transmissions, this switch would be able to control the cameras and send the data back to its control room. Key feature number 2 is going to be a port-based QoS, which basically gives you a VIP port on the 3525 and 2 VIP ports on the 3528. This gives you the ability to prioritize time-sensitive network demands for video streaming. Usually this involves cameras, and you can see here on the diagram on the side, the A would be the VIP port, and basically the VIP port gets a high bandwidth and high priority for any data transmission that's critical to the operation. And then you get your standard ports. So you got the 5 port on the left and the 8 port on the right. Key feature number 3 is the IEEE 802.3az standard. We call it energy efficient Ethernet, but essentially this saves up to 60% of the power consumption depending on the customer application. It will automatically power down ports that have no link or connection. Also budgets power output for different Ethernet cables. So this is excellent in a customer situation where there's going to be remote operation of these units that could be run off battery or solar energy. So power consumption is going to be a key critical component, and these switches are excellent for that type of application. Here's an application within solar automation. The solar cells are being run through the network here, and you can see that the 3525 and 3528 is the switch of choice because of its low power consumption. 8.4 to 10 volts of DC for input to run the unit. It's got good MTBF, and it's a pretty rugged unit. So perfect application for solar automation. Our last feature of the EKI-3000 series is a smart self-diagnostic loop detection feature. This feature would detect when a loop condition is present in the network and disable that particular port to prevent broadcast storms. As stated earlier, this is a feature that some of our competitors do not have, but it's extremely useful for any engineer who's looking at the unit to look at the front of the box, look at the red LED that's flashing, and then they can solve the problem that's causing the loop detection. So this is a great feature to have on the EKI-3000 series.
Thanks, Richard, for sharing your expertise with us and providing us with an excellent presentation. It's much appreciated. If you have any questions regarding today's webcast, please don't hesitate to contact us.